Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to Sky Germany, Jadon Sancho to Manchester United is imminent. He could be a Manchester United player in the next few days. Man United are working on an offer for Jadon Sancho that would include bonus success. Borussia Dortmund want bonuses in the Jadon Sancho deal. Jadon Sancho's camp think his move to Manchester United is a done deal. In Dortmund, they think it could happen next week. And the Athletic sense that a deal for Jadon Sancho should get done. Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund are around 11 million apart in the valuation for Jadon Sancho. Borussia Dortmund are demanding around £78 million plus add-ons. We had an opening offer of £67 million rejected for Jadon Sancho. Fabrizio Romano said the other day that Manchester United reached an agreement with Jadon Sancho's camp. The personal terms have been agreed with Sancho, and we've offered him a 5-year contract worth around £350,000 a week. That'll make him the second highest paid player at Manchester United. Borussia Dortmund have set the deadline for Sancho. They said he will remain at Borussia Dortmund if Man United have not reached his valuation by the end of July. Jadon Sancho wants his future resolved before the start of the Euros. Well, obviously the Euros have started, but that's what he said the other week. Borussia Dortmund have been looking for replacements for Sancho. Manchester United remain in talks with Borussia Dortmund over the sale. Sancho to Manchester United this time around is happening. We've been in for Sancho now for like the last 2 years or so. So it has been a long-running transfer saga. You know, he was our number one priority target last summer. Sancho to Man United last summer was extremely close because the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and the contract and that had been agreed. But the reason we didn't get him is because we was reluctant to meet Borussia Dortmund's 108 million valuation. We was only willing to pay so much up front. But Borussia Dortmund have lowered their asking price from last summer. Dortmund set a deadline last year. They said we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so he did remain at Borussia Dortmund. I've always known there's been something in Jadon Sancho to Manchester United because it's been stemming from reliable journalists. Obviously, Fabrizio Romano's spoken a lot about the Sancho saga, and so too was Christian Fark from Bild. But Sancho will be a great signing for Manchester United. You know, he will assure us goals. He's good at creating chances. He'll fit in our team perfectly. He's still young. He's got a lot of development in him, and he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford because they do touch base with each other a lot. So they are the reasons. There's a problem though with Mason Greenwood, you know, if Sancho comes in, because Greenwood plays a lot on the right hand side. Jadon Sancho has endured 4 years at Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund paid just £7 million to him from Man City back in 2017. He's got a contract with Dortmund until 2023. And yet, we're not interested in Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich. He said we're only interested in him if we fail to sign Sancho. Manchester United need more than Jadon Sancho though in this summer transfer window. There's a chance that we'll sign Kieran Trippier. I think we're hoping to get Kieran Trippier from between 15 million to 20 million pounds. But Atletico Madrid name their price for Kieran Trippier. They'll only sell Kieran Trippier if his £35 million release clause is met. Man United had an opening offer of £10 million rejected for Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier, not so long ago, told his England teammates that he wants to join Manchester United this summer. And not so long ago, we begun negotiations with Atletico Madrid regarding Trippier. Kieran Trippier has been house hunting, so reflecting on that, that's fueled speculation. Back in January, we was interested in Kieran Trippier, but we culled our interest because he got banned by FIFA for 8 weeks for breaching betting rules. The reason we want Kieran Trippier is because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is unhappy with Wan-Bissaka's attacking output. Wan-Bissaka is the only recognised senior right back at Man United at the moment. Trippier's current contract at Atletico Madrid expires next year. Atletico Madrid paid £20 million for him from Tottenham and he won the La Liga with Atletico Madrid last season. Kieran Trippier is highly experienced, he's 30 years of age. Rafael Varane, you know, he's on our agenda. I'd love Manchester United to sign Rafael Varane. You know, he'd do very, very well with us. You know, Varane would fit in our team perfectly. Rafael Varane and Harry Maguire would complement each other very, very well in our back line. He would exceed expectations in the Premier League. He's regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced and he's got a great pedigree as a player. Varane has won 18 major honours at Real Madrid. Now, Rafael Varane has refused a contract at Real Madrid. Romano said that not so long ago. He said Man United offered Varane a salary that Real Madrid cannot match. We offered €12 million a year, which equates to just over £10 million in pound sterling. Real Madrid have said they'll sell Rafael Varane for 52 million in this summer transfer window. Mundo Deportivo said recently that Real Madrid lowered their asking price for Rafael Varane. Before, Real Madrid were demanding £60 million. Towards the end of last season, they rejected a £48 million bid. Varane, not so long ago, spoke out on his future. He did say it's unlikely his future will be resolved before the start of the Euros. Man United obviously held talks with Rafael Varane's representatives, and Romano did say towards the end of last season that Varane was the main name on our list, and we was waiting to see what happened with his situation at Real Madrid. Varane has been a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He's endured 10 years with them, and he's made over 300 appearances in all competitions. I can assure he's leaving Real Madrid. His current contract expires next year. His contract talks with Real Madrid stalled a while ago. Man United need a centre-half. You know the news on Harry Kane from Tottenham. Manchester United want him. Harry Kane wants to leave Tottenham. Where will Harry Kane be playing next season? Now, obviously, last month it said that Harry Kane put a transfer request in. Kane did say towards the end of last season that he wants to win team trophies. Tottenham have not won a trophy for like 13 years. Man United, Man City and Chelsea have contacted his representative. It's going to take an offer of around £150 million to convince Tottenham to offload him. Ryan Mason last month dismissed suggestions that Harry Kane asked to leave. Don't forget, last month as well, Daniel Levy slapped a £200 million asking price on Kane. £200 million is a British record fee. Daniel Levy actually doesn't want Tottenham to sell Harry Kane, and he was furious with Harry Kane for going public with his desire to leave because, was it last month, he had an interview with Gary Neville regarding his future. So, there you go. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said just before the summer transfer window opened he wants to make around 4 signings in order for Man United to challenge for the Premier League title next season. I'm convinced we can challenge for the Premier League title next season. That's providing that we recruit well in this summer transfer window. This summer transfer window is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. And he is aware, of how big this summer transfer window is for himself and Manchester United in general, because I said it's very imperative he gets the players he wants to recommend in. The other week Solskjaer had been given a £150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. And our board have said they'll back Solskjaer with a new 3-year contract and summer signings despite the Europa League final loss. I think it is a mistake giving him that new 3-year contract. I think quite a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect, because I can assure he won't see out this new 3-year deal. Ole has just under a year left on the current 3-year contract he signed when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. So what we should do is, in reality, wait until he sees out his current contract, see how things have gone, and then decide or not whether to give him that new 3-year deal. We are going to offload players in this summer transfer window, so in that aspect we'll generate money and it will help us with our rebuilding process. Earlier on today I gave you the news on Anthony Martial. Duncan Castles came out and said that Anthony Martial has been offered to Real Madrid. Martial's agent is looking to get him a move away from the club. A season-long loan with the option to buy has been proposed. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is fed up of Anthony Martial's poor attitude. A lot of United fans want Martial to go because he's no longer good enough to represent the club. He was out of form last season and Martial was out with an knee injury for a while. Martial has been at Manchester United for 6 years. He scored 78 goals in 258 games in all competitions. He's got a contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. And we got Martial in a deal worth 58 million from Monaco back in 2015. I reckon Martial's had around 2 good seasons at Man United. He was good in his debut season under Louis van Gaal era and he was good the season before last. I think he got voted Players' Player of the Year. At one point, Solskjaer gave Anthony Martial that number 9 shirt. But he said the other week that Solskjaer made his decision on Martial's future and he actually told the Glazers he wants Martial to stay for next season because he believes he's got a big role to play. So good chance he's going to be leaving in this summer transfer window. Juan Mata, I think we also need to offload him. Mike McGrath from The Telegraph recently said though that Juan Mata was in talks with Man United over an extension on his contract. Juan Mata's current contract expires at the end of this month. Solskjaer said not so long ago that no decision was made on Juan Mata's future. Juan Mata's had a good career at Man United. He's been with us now for 7 years. We got him in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2014 and at the first part of last season he rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. Juan Mata doesn't really get in our team now and the element of concern about him, he's lost that yard of pace, hasn't he? And he's getting too old. I think...
Take a picture here,
What are you doing?
that woman I'm looking for, she wants Simon and Bob to do some new carpets.
Does she?
She wants me to take a picture of what they've done, pictures of what they've done here, so I'll show it now.
We need to offload Donny van der Beek. Not to do with him being a bad player, just doesn't get enough opportunities at Manchester United. Last season, most of Donny van der Beek's appearances come from the bench. He only started, 4 games in the league last season. Said not so long ago that Donny van der Beek was set for showdown talks with Solskjaer over his future. But it said towards the end of last season that we will reject any offers for Donny van der Beek, so reflecting on that we are reluctant to let him go. Don't forget he got ruled out of the Euros through injury. Donny van der Beek's only enjoyed 1 full season at Man United. Got him in a deal worth 40 million for Ajax last year. and he's versatile, Donny van de Beek, and can play in 3 different roles. Nemanja Matic, I think we also need to offload him, because I've got my strong reservations about Matic. He's always been a slow player and he's ageing up. And he isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he still gets his opportunities. Matic has been at the club over 4 years now. We got him from Chelsea back in 2017 for £40 million. We gave him a new 3-year deal before the start of last season. That was a mistake from Man United. I think we need to loan Brandon Williams out, to gain him more experience and to get a lot more opportunities, because Brandon Williams seldom plays for Man United. He's our 3rd choice left back. He played a lot of games this season before last. That's only because Luke Shaw had a couple of periods out with injury. I don't like Brandon Williams on the right. He's nowhere near effective on the right as he is on the left. We need to also offload Phil Jones. Phil Jones has always been inconsistent and he doesn't get in our 11. And he was out of injury for a while. Phil Jones is the only outfield player that's still here from the Ferguson era. He's been a long servant. He's endured 10 years at Manchester United. We need to get rid of Diego Dalot permanently. We need to get rid of Andres Pereira permanently. We need to get rid of Lingard permanently as well. De Gea, I want him to go in this summer transfer window, but he may not be going now because De Gea's convinced that he will stay at Manchester United and be Solskjaer's number 1 next season. So there you go. There's actually rumours of Dean Henderson leaving. But there's a lot of players that will stay at Manchester United, and I reckon there's quite a few players that have got long-term futures at the club. Next season is going to be massive for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I think he is aware of that. Next season is going to be his 3rd full season because he's endured 2 full seasons at the moment. I'd say next season Solskjaer's got to win a trophy at Manchester United if he is to remain Manchester United manager. Because Solskjaer's not yet won a trophy and we haven't won a trophy for 4 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Last season wasn't a successful season for Man United, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer accepted that. If we start off next season badly, then pressure will be on Solskjaer. If we do eventually decide to sack Solskjaer, who's going to come in to replace him? We need someone in with a proven pedigree and someone who would suit the strappings of the club. I can assure he isn't the long-term manager for Man United, and I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. I think he does deserve next season though. Obviously there is some Man United fans that are Ollie out. Obviously they've got their reasons why they're Ollie out. There was more United fans demanding him out after the Europa League final loss, but I presume there's still some United fans that are Ollie in and they believe that he needs more time at the club. I think he is our best manager since Ferguson. I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done. So I am shocked in that aspect. You've got to turn around and say, yeah, he has done a pretty good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. Because he was inheriting a lot of deadwood and he's still inheriting some deadwood now. Solskjaer has been in charge of Manchester United now for almost 30 months. That's over 2 years. I do have my concerns about Ole. My 2 biggest concerns about him, he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, and his decision making also concerns because in a lot of his games at Man United he has been tactically naive. But there's also a lot of things I've got to credit Solskjaer for. There really is. One thing I've got to credit him for is his honesty. Solskjaer's honest about a lot of things that goes on at Manchester United. Prime example, like, if we've had a good performance, he'll admit it's been a good performance. If we have a bad performance, he'll admit it's been a bad performance and all of that. So yeah, another thing I've got to credit Solskjaer for, when he got appointed in as Man United manager, he assured everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players, and more or less everybody's been given their chances. Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager so far. He's spent almost £300 million, and Solskjaer's enjoyed 4 transfer windows so far. This is his 5th transfer window now. He's brought around 13, 14 players in. Ollie's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in. He knew he had to do that when he got appointed in as Man United manager, as well as bring players in. Ollie did well in his first full season, got us to 3 semi-finals and got us a 3rd place finish. He did well in a lot of aspects last season. He got us to the Europa League final. I know we didn't win it, but Solskjaer still got us to the final, and it was his first major final as Man United manager. He got us a 2nd place finish last season. Wasn't an achievement though. Last season went the entire season without losing away from home in the Premier League, which was a record. Last season got us to the FA Cup quarter-final, and he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. So there you go. As you all know, Joe Glazer had a fans forum not so long ago. It was his first attendance in like 15, 16 years. I read it all out to you what was said anyway. The Glazers have promised to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer financial backing. Obviously, towards the end of last season, there was a lot of Man United fans that were protesting against the Glazers at Old Trafford. Towards the end of last season, Joe Glazer wrote a letter to Man United fans, and Avram Glazer, don't forget, refused to apologise over the European Super League. Solskjaer said at the beginning of May that the violent incidents went too far, but he says the club need to take notice of the fans, and at one point Solskjaer was angry with Gary Neville over the protests. Neville had a lot to say regarding the protests. He did actually say towards the end of last season that the Glazers could be forced to sell Man United, but for only £4 billion. The Glazers have been at the club now for 16 years. They bought the club for £500 million back in 2005. I hate the way the football club has been run for a long time. We know Woodward, he's standing down at the end of the year because it got announced earlier on this year that Woodward resigned as Manchester United vice chairman. I presume all United fans were happy with that. Woodward's enjoyed his 16-year association with the club. So anyway guys, that's everything to update for today. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.